Hello, Scorpios, and welcome to this, your May 15th through May 31st reading. For those of you who are returning, you'll notice that my background has changed yet again. As I mentioned in my previous videos, my son and I were in the process of moving, and we have actually decided to go nomadic, which means that my background's probably going to change on a regular basis. Today, I am coming to you from Medicine Hat, Alberta, and I'm currently in my cousin's man cave. So enjoy the background. And as you can see from my attire, it is absolutely freezing in here, but it works. The lighting isn't too bad. Hopefully it will stay quiet and we won't have people coming out here and making a whole lot of noise in the man cave. Okay, Scorpio, let's begin. Let's have a look at what's coming up for you for May 15th through May 31st. For those of you who are new here, my name is Marnie. I am Intuitive Butterfly. I work with a number of different oracle card and tarot card decks, as well as my own intuition and psychic acuity. And I am also available for private readings if you so desire. I will leave links in the description below. Okay. Scorpios, we are starting over here with the Fairy Tarot deck, and we are going to look at where you are at now. Where are the Scorpios at now? What energies are influencing them? You, oh my goodness, yours is getting messy. Look at that. Look at this. Okay. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, I do deal with cards that flip out and fall out versus me pulling cards. I do have another card here. This is kind of the first, this one's the first one. That one's the second one, and this one. And I also leave all of the cards face down until I'm actually ready to read the cards for you, Scorpio. And the reason I do this is it allows for a more authentic way for my intuition to come in, rather than me seeing a card and my intuition being influenced by the message on that particular card. Okay, the next card that I'm going to pull for you is a card of what you are focusing on. Getting called over here. All right. What is Scorpio focusing on for the last half of May 2023? Oh, Scorpio, your cards are so mucky, messy. They're all over the place. See, I keep getting these cards that are kind of half falling out. I'm going to pull that one out. There's another couple of cards there. Okay, that one and those. Okay. Scorpio, without having looked at any of the cards that have come out already, just the way the cards are coming out, the cards are coming kind of half out of the deck, but not actually falling out. It's like they're tentative. And so I want to say that before I even finish pulling the rest of the cards for you, I'm sensing that for many of you right now in this time and place here, as I'm doing the reading in the middle of May, with the intention of the reading being for the time period May 15th through May 31st, that some of you are in this very tentative place where you're kind of doing this, oh, oh, maybe I should pull back. No, okay, I want to come out. I want to do something. Oh, I'm going to pull back. We'll see what the cards are actually going to say once I start to turn them over. But when we're doing psychic readings and tarot card readings, sometimes it's not just about the cards themselves and the meaning of those cards. Sometimes as well, it can be about the way that the cards come out themselves. The way that they exit from the deck is also important. So I'll leave that with you. Okay. The next cards that we're going to pull for you are cards of difficult influences. Oh, now that one flipped out, right? Difficult influences. Yeah. All right. Okay, the next cards that we're going to pull for you is cards of This Makes Sense. Now, the This Makes Sense cards are cards that either correspond identically to the meaning of another card in your reading, thus giving you that double reinforcement that those energies are important. Sit up and pay attention. Or they can, when there's a significant amount of cards that come out and the reading seems a little bit disjointed, the cards that make sense will then tie the rest of the reading together. Yeah, I'm getting pulled over here to the messages from the spirits of nature and what makes sense for Scorpio. Now that card jumped, but it didn't actually flip out. It got caught by the rest of the deck. Now we got two cards. And again. Now one of the cards did flip out upside down or reversed. So we will read it that way. The next cards that we're going to pull are cards of unexpected insights. Unexpected insights, unexpected influences. What is unexpected for the Scorpios? Just trying to decide which deck. Yeah, I'm getting pulled over here to this deck again. And just so you know, this is the deck that's Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. My box is a little bit mucked up there. Protecting, it's doing its job. All right, unexpected. Unexpected for Scorpio. So we do have two cards that have come out here. All right. The final cards that we're going to pull, I know they're coming from this deck. I've been being pulled here for these last few. So this is your general overall outcome, Scorpio. And what these cards are doing, these cards are actually predicting or projecting the furthest out time-wise. And we're going to look at where you're predicted or projected to be at, which energies are going to be coming in and influencing you for the time period at the end of this reading. So right around the end of May, May 31st, May 30th, in and around that area. General overall outcome. And again, look at the cards. Look at how messy they are. This is another indication that sometimes there might be a lack of direction being indicated here. But we shall see. Okay. Scorpio. Interesting. You have the Strength card upright. You have the 10 of Summer, also known as the 10 of Cups, reversed. And you have the Ace of Autumn or Ace of Pentacles upright. The Strength card is about you realizing your own inner strength and realizing the power that you have, Scorpio. Many of us go through life and we don't recognize our own strengths and our own power. Why? Well, we're told don't be conceited. Society's like, oh, you shouldn't brag about that kind of thing. So that's part of it. The other thing that the Strength card brings up is that balance between being quite forceful and standing in our own strength and our own power, while at the same time having forgiveness and compassion for others who are perhaps not in the similar position to that which we find ourselves. And so this is a card as well of Leo the Lion. So Scorpio, pay attention right now to see if there is a Leo in your life that is coming in and influencing you in some way. What am I picking up? For some of you, pay attention to see if there's a Leo coming in who may play a role as a mentor or a teacher for you. For others, I don't know. I'm Scorpio. I'm seeing you guys walking away from a Leo. Like I have this image of you literally walking away and doing the, talk to the hand kind of thing to a Leo. I don't know why, but it could just be that you're stepping into your own strength and stepping into your own power and recognizing how beautiful and how amazing you really are. The 10 of summer coming up in reverse. This may be why I'm picking up you potentially walking away from someone and potentially walking away from a Leo. The 10 of summer would normally be a card about surrounding yourself with people that you can trust, surrounding yourself with amazing, beautiful relationships, not just romantic relationships, but also mentor relationships, friendships, family relationships, all of these things. And yet you've got it in reverse, which tells me that there may be someone in your midst with whom there's a bit of a trust issue coming up, Scorpio. So you might want to explore that. The other thing that's coming up is with this 10 of summer in reverse is I think that for some of you, you're beginning to trust your intuition a little bit deeper. And so you're trusting that not to take everything at face value is what's coming up for me. The next card that you have in your Here Now is the Ace of Autumn, also known as the Ace of Pentacles. Aces are all about new beginnings, and the Pentacles are all about money, job, happy changes in your careers, money coming in, a change in your financial situation. But this is coming up as a change in your financial situation for the better. Between these three cards, Scorpio, I want to say that what I'm picking up for you at this time is you're coming into your own strength. You're realizing how powerful you can be, and you are removing anyone from your life that doesn't align with your new vision, that doesn't align with your new found strength in who you are. And that is going to thereby improve your financial and your career situation. Let's have a look at what you are focusing on. Okay, nice. Okay, you have the Three of Swords here. Interestingly, the Three of Swords is coming up with a similar meaning to what, and like I said, I leave all of these cards face down. I have no idea what the next cards are going to be, but here, these three cards in your You Are Here Now are representing a separation of you and somebody else. Whether that be a friendship, a romantic relationship, or a relationship with a family member or a mentor, where it's just not working for you anymore. You're sensing that they are not in alignment with you coming into your own strength and power. The Three of Swords that you have here in your focus has almost the same meaning, but all wrapped up in one card, which is kind of interesting, right? I mean, this is a card of separation. This is a card of breakup. This is a card of, recognizing that something in your midst isn't quite right. Something, and you're feeling it in your heart. It's like a sword going through your heart, and you're not feeling it. Incidentally, you have another three here. You also have the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is about coming into your own power. You're getting double confirmations here. The Three of Wands is about coming into your own power, speaking firmly, and taking those steps forward, walking away from that which isn't serving you anymore. Okay. And you have the High Priestess. And the High Priestess here is about preparing you for something new, but also more spiritual development, paying attention to your dreams. The other thing is that the High Priestess lives a life of luxury. This Ace of Autumn coming in for you. So these first three cards that we read that were from the fairy deck have corresponding meanings to what you are focusing on from a very different deck. This is kind of synchronistic for you, Scorpio. Let's have a look at your difficult influences. Okay, your difficult influences this month for the last half of May is the Water Guardian, connecting with your emotions. And what this card is telling me is that as you're going through some of what I just talked about, walking away from relationships that no longer serve your highest good, you're having a little difficulty actually connecting your emotions to it. Now, that can be a good thing and a bad thing, because sometimes when we're going through a breakup, when we are walking away from relationships that no longer serve us, sometimes we have to step back from our emotions, because if we're coming from that place of being overly emotional, we can become incapacitated, and our ability to be able to think clearly when it comes to the physical side of a separation or a breakup or a change in the dynamics of a relationship. If we're caught up in the emotions, then, okay, so let's say, for example, that what I'm talking about here is the breakup of a romantic relationship. Now, for some of you, it may very well be, but not for all of you. For some of you, this may be just a change in the dynamic with your family or with a family member where, you know, being as close as you once were is no longer conducive to a mutually equal relationship. And so I am sensing that I'm sensing on a really deep level, Scorpio, that there's a possibility of a move here for some of you to a new location. Because where I'm going with all of this convoluted way of putting it is, when we're going through a breakup or a change in dynamics of a relationship, there are certain important things we need to do on a conscious level in the physical world, like packing things up. And if we're caught up in our emotions, what's going to happen? Well, for every little spoon that we pick up to pack, we're going to look at it and go, oh, that was the good times. And then we're going to pack up a photo album. We're going to flip through the photo. Oh my God. Okay. So our emotions can actually be a detriment. Do we need to feel those emotions eventually? Absolutely. If we don't feel and process those emotions, we are probably going to repeat and go through some crap again with someone else. So ultimately, we do need to experience those moments of reminiscing and feeling working through our feelings. But if we're allowing our emotions to actually control us, Scorpio, we may end up going back into something that we know we're meant to be walking away from. You've got two cards here indicating that you're focusing on walking away from something. The other card that you have in your difficult influences is see things from a higher perspective, the eagle. Okay. What this is telling me is that as you're going through this change or the shift in relationships in your life right now, you may be failing to see the higher perspective, the bigger picture. You may be failing to recognize that this is actually a good thing. When relationships either end or the dynamic in a relationship changes, it can be really, really hard to process that and see the bigger picture and see that this is actually a better thing for everyone. From personal experience, as well as I'm a counselor, so I deal with a lot of people with relationship issues coming up. Oftentimes, as people are in the throes of the changing dynamics of a relationship, be it a full-on breakup or just perhaps limiting the amount of time that we're going to spend with a person, a lot of people, when they're in the throes of that, they get blinders on and they can't see that things will actually be better. And yet, how many people do we know where they went through a divorce, they were completely miserable, and yet after the divorce, they actually get along better with their ex now than they did when they were married, because the dynamic of that relationship changed. Similarly with families, how many families got together every single Sunday for Sunday dinner and everybody would go away, we don't get along, and I dread Sundays. And then someone in the family says, look, let's get together for only special occasions. We'll get together for Thanksgiving and Easter and Christmas, and that's it going forward. And all of a sudden, everybody really looks forward to getting together with family and catching up and seeing what's going on. But when you're in the throes of going through that change and that adjustment to no longer seeing somebody, like a family member, every single Sunday, it's hard to see the bigger picture that maybe this is an improvement. Do you see what I'm saying here, Scorpio? And that's really what I'm sensing here with these cards of difficult influence. I really, really sense that there is a change or a shift in a relationship that is really, really going to change the dynamic of your life, but in a good way. Like there's good things that are going to come out of this. So long as you don't have your blinders on and you recognize and can begin to see the bigger picture that this is going to be an improvement. Right. Okay. So in your cards that make sense, you have the crystal quartz, which is about focus. Okay. What this is telling me is that as you're going through all of this, you really need to keep your eye on the prize. Where did that come from? I never use that saying. I never say stuff like that. Okay. But it came out of my mouth. I'm channeling here. Keep your eye on the prize, and the eye on the prize is coming into your own strength, coming into your own power, and channeling your own high priestess to come out of this. I know there's a reflection on the card. It's kind of hard to see it there. But ultimately, that's what you want to achieve. And in order to do that, you're going to have to stay focused. Keep your eye on the end goal, despite the emotions that are coming up. The other thing that you have here in your This Makes Sense is the mountain in reverse. The mountain coming up in reverse. The mountain is normally about setting your intentions, standing your ground. Okay. This is telling me that you're waffling back and forth. Oh, but, oh, maybe. Crystal quartz. Focus, Scorpio. Right? Keep your focus, keep your intention there. Get that clarity, right? That's what the crystal quartz is about. Get clarity about your future. And when you do that, you're going to be able to achieve. In your unexpected, in your unexpected influences and insights, you have the Lord take charge with authority. Isn't that what I've been saying? Right? Keep your eye on the end result. Clear focus on what you want to achieve, which is Strength and High Priestess. And what is the outcome going to be? The Sun. The Sun in the traditional tarot is known as one of the happiest cards in the traditional tarot deck. So the Sun represented in an oracle card also means positivity. Okay. Enjoy success and happiness. This is one of your unexpected results of doing this additional hard work, about changing the dynamics of the existing relationships that you have. In the middle of May, to changing those relationships to a dynamic that works for you by the end of May. Your outcome, beautiful, beautiful. Your outcome, you have the Beyond Illusion card here, and you have the 10 of Rainbows, also known as the 10 of Pentacles card. Do you know what this card is? This card is the second sun in the traditional tarot. Remember what I said about the Sun, the happiest card in the deck? Yeah. So this is the second happiest card in the tarot deck. And you got it as your general overall outcome. So by the end of May, the cards are predicting and projecting that you will have worked through this broken heart. You will have worked through and sussed out this dishonesty or deception, or this relationship that is just, I've got this prickly feeling. I've got an image of a porcupine coming up with regards to a relationship where it's just prickly. You will have worked through this. And so that by the end of May, Scorpio, this card, the Beyond Illusion card, is a card of closing off one aspect of your life. You have learned the lessons. And so it's time to proceed from those lessons, grow, bloom into this butterfly, or come out of the cocoon or the chrysalis. Okay. See beyond the illusion of the relationship. Because if the relationship wasn't working for you, there was definitely illusions in it. Or maybe the illusion was that you were trying to convince yourself that it was working when you knew in your heart it wasn't working. So this is a card of closing off one aspect because you've learned the lessons, and moving forward into we are the world. The world is your oyster. Once you learn the lesson that has been on the table for you, Scorpio, and I do want to say, I sense that this is something that you've been working through for approximately 3 months. And this is telling me that the general overall outcome, that you're kind of beyond that by the end of May, which is absolutely beautiful. So I hope that you will join me again come the end of May when I do your next reading, moving into June, the 6th month of the year. Can you believe we're almost at that point of being halfway through 2023? Time is just flying by. All right, I will see you again at the end of May.